There we go. All right, Jasmine, welcome. We've already proven this. You can write that down. All right, so that is one of the 4 situations that you're going to be dealing with, okay? A side angle side situation. Another situation you might be dealing with is an angle side, like so 2 angles and a side. So what I'm going to do over here is I'm going to write the law of sines. Sine of angle A over A equals sine of angle B over B equals the sine of angle C over little c. And I'm just going to cover up that first part, not going to pay attention to most of it. And I'm going to solve for little c here, okay? So I'll multiply this side over here by c. I'll leave the sine of capital angle C right there. I'll multiply both sides by b, and then divide both sides by the sine of angle B. And I'll use that to substitute in for that right there. So the area is 1/2, and instead of saying C, I will say B sine C over sine B times, so that took care of this part right here, B sine A. So that's 1/2. I've got a b and a b here, so I'll write b squared times sine A sine C all over sine B. All right, now just like over there, I could rewrite this in a couple different ways. I'm going to put it up here just so you kind of get a feel for it if you don't feel like you have to. What if the side that I was given was side A? No big deal, it's just a squared. And then the pattern here is, these are the sine of the other 2 angles, and then this is the sine of the angle which is across from that side right there. So I'm going to say sine B sine C all divided by sine A. So if you have little a here, it's going to be big A right down there. Or 1/2, can y'all call it out to me?
C squared.
C squared?
Times sine of A times sine of B over sine of C.
Yep. Capital C. There you go. All 3 of those are the same formula, just written with different versions. That might be a good thing to put on your formula chart. It is not on your formula chart, but those 2 formulas right there. This is going to deal with what situation? Not side angle side. Not side side side, because of 2 angles and a side.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, you could also already go side angle angle or angle side angle. I mean, they're all the same thing. It's just different locations. And the reason that is because if you have 2 angles, then you really have 3 angles. Wait a second. Well, because if I give you 2 angles and they're inside a triangle, then you add them together, subtract it from 180, you're going to get the 3rd angle. So that's great. 2 angles. And then there's the fun one. All right? And that's the side, side, side situation. The derivation for this one is fun, all right, for this formula. It's also a whole page front and back. So rather than writing it out in front of you, I have typed it up and I'm going to share it with you at this time so you can see that derivation.
Thank you.
You're welcome. And leave that, I know, that way I'll
put that in your folder whenever.
So everything's sort of one line at a time. Did y'all ever do proofs in geometry?
Oh my goodness, yes.
Actually, I didn't.
Somebody told me they liked geometry the other day, and I was like, have you done proofs yet? And I'm like, nope. It's like, there you go. There you go.
Are we doing them again? Please
No, you're not going to do that right now.
right now.
Did I say?
Yeah.
So, if you would like to get some extra points, I don't know, this is probably worth up to maybe 50, like half a homework grade.
Oh.
Okay? So, I have here all of the steps, okay? If you can find, how did I get from this step to this step, and give me the justification step all the way down, I would say that's a lot of work, and that's definitely worth half a homework grade. So I give you like 50 points.
Up to when can we turn this in? Like, turn that in?
Let's just say by Friday, because we want to kind of, I don't want to have these.
Which step to which step? For every single step?
For every step, yeah. Now some of them are given, some of them are like add x squared to both sides. That's, you could put add the same thing to both sides, or subtracting the same things. Okay?
So we don't
This
even know the actual rules and like.
What's like addition rule of both?
Do I want you to put the addition property of equality? No, but you can give me an informal thing about what happened.
So just kind of say like, you square both sides.
Yeah, square both sides. Yeah, that's fine. It's informal. Okay, I'm not. This isn't going to be subject to board approval or anything like that. Let's see. This is extra credit. Okay, so don't stress out about it. A lot of y'all are making hundreds on these things. So here you go. Let's look at the point. Let's skip to the punchline. Look at the back page. Oh, by the way, this is called Heron's formula. It's also ironically called Hero's formula. So it has two names: Hero's formula and Heron's formula. I've seen it listed as both so many times that I'm to look it up. Anyway, but you've got to be a hero to get this proof finished and get through it. And there you go. We did. Here's the formula. If I give you three sides, okay, then intermediate step S is what we call the semi-perimeter. It literally means 1/2 of the perimeter. Okay? And the formula for the area of a triangle given three sides is this. The square root of S times S minus A times S minus B times S minus C. That's it. That's the formula. That's the hero. It's also written on the back of that paper there. All right. What we're going to do now is we're going to look at 4 different problems, 4 different. I gave you 3 of these, but the first one's like so easy you don't even need a formula for it. Okay. All right, there you go. Find the area of a triangle. Let's do some practice together, shall we? So this will be that first page that I gave you when you walked in. I didn't get one. All right. Come on up here. I got one for you. Anybody else need one? Okay. First problem, I did not even give you the formula for, okay? Because this is a pretty basic type. This is how to find the area of a right triangle, okay? What's the formula for the area of a triangle? 1/2 base times height. Little side note, the base and the height are always perpendicular to each other. So if you're given a right triangle, it makes the most sense for you to choose the base to be one of the legs and the height to be the other leg. That way you just take the 2 legs, multiply them together, and then divide it by 2 or whatever. Okay? So I choose 1/2 times 3. But then, what's the problem in this particular situation?
You don't have the height.
I don't have the height. But I do have an angle right here, and I do have a side right here. So maybe I could use trig to figure out what that height happens to be. Y'all see what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So what trig ratio would help me if I have this angle and I need to know, I need the opposite side and the adjacent side. You might think sine, but it's not sine. Sine is going to be opposite over hypotenuse. It's kind of switched all around. Tangent is what I'm looking for, so a little side problem over here. Tangent of angle B is going to be the height over the base. So tangent of 49.5 degrees equals h over 3. Someone with a calculator?
3.52.
I'm hearing 3.52. Do I have agreement?
Mm-hmm.
All right. So then you just multiply those three together. 1/2 times 3 times 3.52. So I'm guessing it's going to be 4 or 5, somewhere right there.
5.3.
I hear 5.3. Agreement, disagreement? Thumbs up? Okay, I'm going to tell you right now, this is one problem, okay? On your homework, there's going to be 3 or 4 of these. Sometimes you might need to use tangent, sometimes you might need to use sine, sometimes you might need to use cosine, all right? But the trick is that if, and you can write this down if you want, given a right triangle, obviously you want the base and the height to be the legs, okay? And so you'll use your trigonometric ratios to find the other one. So we'll say, use trig to find the other leg. And I could do a million problems like this, but I don't feel like that's really necessary for y'all. I can help you out tomorrow and Wednesday. You need individual assistance. Plus, you've got that worked example there on Alex. Okay? I want you to look at number 2 and identify, and keep going, 2, 3, and 4. Which of the situations are you dealt with, and which formula do you need to utilize? Okay? And work through 2, 3, and 4 as a table there. No need. You would use one of those 2 formulas and the hero's formula. What information are you getting? 2 sides and the angle between, right?
Okay, and then you can split that into.
So,
Okay, you do it. Oh, you do it one more time.
side and side.
Oh. And so you get to the formulas.
Yep, you're on the right track. First one. Have you identified that first one right there? Side angle side, right? And so it's using which formula? Very first one we talked about that. Yep, that's right. Yep. You know which formula? There you go. That's right.
We have
Have you identified the problem type number 2? Oh. Okay. Oh, you're actually you're going to do something. Yeah, that's fine.
Oh,
You're deriving the formula right there. I get what you said. This is a side angle sine situation.
okay.
And so you can use that left formula right there.
Oh, okay.
Because what you did right here was exactly what you did.
Yeah, that's what I
You
did.
drew the height, then you said the sine of this angle is et cetera, et cetera. So, that's- you can just literally use 1/2 side times the sine of the angle between them.
Okay, thank you. This one is angle, side angle.
Two looks good, bro.
Oh, yeah, angle, side, you're right.
Looks good, keep going.
I don't like to see it like that. It's something that messes me up. I just like, oh.
You can't do that.
I did 1/2 times.
Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, you're right. You're right.
1/2 times 22 times 335. 1/3 times sine 77.
Alright, so the first one you should have had side angle sine. That's this formula right here. So 1/2 AB sine C, or 1/2 side times the sine of the angle between them. Yep. Sure.
Did you get 335?
Yes.
With this formula, when you were saying this, so when it's S, do we plug in?
Yeah, it's actually easier to read that.
Figure out what S is first. So do,
So one
hey,
side.
yeah, add all three. Yeah, find the perimeter, add them all together, and then divide it by 2, and then plug that number in for S.
Okay, that makes more sense.
You're right.
Oh, it's 31.3.
Sugar number 2. Okay, great.
Yeah, in that case, it wasn't good to do that. Okay. So pretty much never getting two angles. I feel like I have a cut in my finger. Anyway. Okay.
That number's on check if you start working on this one. Yep. Yep.
¿Cómo que le hicimos?
What's that? Yep, you can pull online and start going. You might want to do this one before the other ones. Yep, you started going homework for it?
Equals 1/2.
The
No,
closest
sorry,
unit
he's still
of
working on
the-
doing it.
Brooke, you have a number here for me at number 3. What's that angle down there? 40 what? 49.
I put them.
Oh, punto cero.
Alright, this is an angle,
I just forget like.
angle side situation, so I'm gonna say 1/2 C squared sine A sine B
1/2
all over sine C.
plus 29.2 plus 25
It got me my answer.
plus 32.7.
Is this C or D?
Sorry.
She didn't aspire to do it.
No, it's this time.
Alright, a lot lot of you may have noticed on number 3, that's an angle side situation. So you have to use the triangle angle sum formula to figure out that that's 49 degrees down there. And then you just say 1/2 the side times the sine and divide by the sine. So 7.6 squared, sine 108, sine 49, sine 23. Final answer 53.1. If you have number 4, I'll walk around and check it, and you can start working on this homework. This is 6D. Like I said, 6C. You can work on your own.
Check 4 and then we can.
Just put, second,
You get that? Where did you get that?
Wait.
Yeah. Number 3?
here's this one, and the second answer.
Yes, yes, yes. Start working on the homework.
Have you noticed we?
Looks good.
That's what I didn't see where.
I see 43.85 minus 20.
I did biomed physics homework and I actually tried it.
43.95
Okay, pretty sure, yeah.
minus 43.95.
Looks good there, Gracie?
Yeah, there's 2 of them. Yeah, I did see that.
I think I switched one.
Which one you working
on
on?
Wednesday.
Really?
Oh.
Yeah. Should. 38.
Yeah, I did that.
If I can, I want to try to get so there's one homework every Friday. Try to avoid the 2. It just happens sometimes. Alright, does anybody still need number 3? Alright, going.
I'm getting conflicting answers.
I did homework all day yesterday and then I cleaned it. And then I had a mental breakdown. I just have to-
Does anybody have value on the semi-perimeter?
43.95.
What did you put?
43.95.
49.95.
Alright? So now remember, formula, it's the square root of S times S minus A, S minus B,
It's
S
second
minus
answer.
C. You know, when they finally got it to look like that, they were like, alright, this is good. There's something about mathematical equations that just look balanced or whatever. You feel like, I don't know. In fact, the aesthetics had played a role in the formation of these formulas. They felt like the formula should be beautiful, balanced, looking good in some way. I'm sure they did. So here you go. So you should have 43.95 and 43.95 minus, I'll just stick
That one's.
29.2. 43.95 minus.
All you had to do was, now you have to at the other side.
43.95.
It's put second, there's second.
A is approximately exactly equal to 369 square feet. Alright class, today we talked about 4 different ways of solving the area of a triangle. Situations where you have right triangles, situations where you have side, angle, side, and then also 3 sides with Hero's formula. You've got the rest of the class to work on this, as well as another 2 days where I'll be walking around answering questions. Esma, did you get some conflicting answers?
Yeah, on number 3, I got like 3.4.
Alright, let me check it out.
I don't have quiz on